Welcome to No Clear Answer, where truth is uncertain. Like and subscribe. Let's begin a real-life story. On Christmas night, 1945, in the town of Fayetteville, everything seemed normal for George Sodder and Jenny Sodder. The house was warm. The children were cheerful. The family was enjoying the quiet peace of the approaching new year. But that night will leave behind a mystery that has never been fully explained. And even today, it is considered one of the most disturbing cases in the no clear answer category. The Sodder family had 9 children. That night, the youngest ones were sleeping upstairs. Just after midnight, the phone rang. Jenny answered, but the voice on the other end belonged to a woman she didn't recognize. The woman was laughing strangely, and unfamiliar voices could be heard in the background. Jenny assumed it was a wrong number and hung up, but there was something she didn't realize at that moment. An unusual sense of unease had settled over the house. About half an hour later, Jenny woke up to a sound. It was as if something had hit the roof, but she was tired and drifted back to sleep. That small detail would remain an unsolved puzzle for years to come. Around 1 a.m., flames began to rapidly consume the lower floor of the house. George Sodder woke up and tried to save his family. He managed to get his wife and 4 of the children out, but the 5 children upstairs, Maurice Sodder, Martha Sodder, Louis Sodder, Jenny Sodder Jr., and Betty Sodder, reaching them became impossible. George desperately tried to reach his children. Normally, he would use the trucks parked beside the house to climb up to the upper floor. But that night, the trucks wouldn't start. Both of them had mysteriously failed at the same time. Was it a coincidence? Or had someone made sure of it? Even stranger, the water barrels that could have been used to fight the fire were frozen. George tried everything he could from the outside, but nothing worked. Within a few hours, the house was completely reduced to ashes. After the fire was extinguished, everyone assumed the worst. It was believed that the 5 children had perished inside, but this is where the story takes a darker turn. Authorities found almost no human remains at the scene. Under normal circumstances, bones should have been recovered in a fire of that magnitude. But there was almost nothing. It was as if the children had never been in that house at all. The official explanation came quickly. They died in the fire. The case was closed, but George Sodder never accepted that conclusion. George and Jenny began their own investigation, and what they discovered only made the official story more suspicious. There were signs that the house's electrical lines had been tampered with before the fire. The mysterious woman on the phone, who was she? And more importantly, there were witnesses who claimed that a man had been watching the house that night. Another witness claimed that the children had been taken away in a vehicle that same night. This claim was never officially confirmed, but it was never fully disproven either. For years, the Sodder family believed their children were still alive. Months after the incident, they received a mysterious photograph. It showed a grown young man, and on the back were the words, Louis Sodder. I love Brother Frankie. Was this really Louis Sodder? Or was it a cruel trick played on a grieving family? George tried to track down this lead, but the source of the photograph was never found. One theory suggested that George Sodder's past was connected to the incident. He was born in Italy and was openly critical of Benito Mussolini. Because of this, some believe the event may have been an organized abduction, an act of revenge, or an attempt to silence him. But this theory was never proven. Years passed, but the Sodder family never gave up. They placed a billboard near the site of their home. displaying the faces of their missing children. For years, it asked the same haunting question to everyone who passed by. What happened to these children? Authorities had closed the case. But for the family, the story never ended. One of the most disturbing details is this. Later examinations suggested that some of the bone fragments found after the fire may have belonged to an adult, meaning the remains might not have been the children's at all. So what really happened that night? Was it a tragic house fire or a carefully planned abduction? Did the 5 children truly perish in the flames? Or were they taken as part of something far more sinister? Even today, there is no clear answer. And perhaps the most terrifying part is this. The truth may have been right in front of us all along, but we still can't see it. This is not just the story of a fire. This is the story of unanswered questions. And like the others, this is a no clear answer. Some questions never find an answer. This was one of them. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.